I was like, oh, I could do fitness in California. And kind of everyone told me there's too much saturation in fitness in California. You're going to fail. Don't do it. A lot of discouragement. And so I think listening to outside voices and people that are negative about what you want to do for your dreams, you just shouldn't listen.
You're listening to the Almost 30 podcast, a lifestyle podcast hosted by Krista Williams and Lindsey Simsick.
Tune in for a new episode every Tuesday to hear our honest conversations about topics like wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and self-development with guests who are really smart, really inspirational,
and really fucking funny. It's real, it's raw, and it's unfiltered.
Inspired by our transition from our 20s to our 30s, we realized it's so much more than that. Our mission is to provide you with the tools, guidance, and motivation to help you navigate any transitions in your life and propel your personal growth.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Almost 30 podcast.
Here we go.
Hello.
Say something about my look. You fucker.
It's I mean, I'm crusty crust.
We're on a farm today.
I've got a tie-dye of different spices and vegetables and sauces on my sweatshirt. It's
that will be eventually a fashion trend.
It is. It's glorious. I've got a tie-dye of things. I've got a cornucopia of flavors on my sweatshirt. And Lindsey is a Huck Finn right now. She's like she's disco Huck Finn.
I'm Huck Finn with an attitude.
Yes, Huck Finn with the
and with a vagina.
A little bit of Prince, a little bit of Huck Finn.
I just felt like wearing overalls, and then I didn't have none of my t-shirts were clean. So I was like, here we go.
It's hard to get a top for overalls.
It's very hard.
That's why I don't ever wear them, because I don't know what kind of top. I'm like, I'm not going to wear a crop top.
Or just don't wear a top. Just make the straps go over your nipples.
Just straight over my nips. And then like I'd have a hair popping out the side.
I can imagine me like trying to be sexy for my husband and like putting on my overalls that I probably wore all week with the kids spit up all over them. And then like at the end of the week, just like having no shirt under it.
Yeah, mama's ready.
This is the way I am sexy.
I remember before I moved in with Justin, I had a girlfriend, Catherine, one of my favorites. And she was like, you have to buy like sexy sleepwear. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. Cause I wear like my Adair t-shirt from 1991.
And Justin's basketball shorts.
No, before we started dating, when I was going to move in. So I had I just have nasty pajama clothes, which is an interesting thing. But whatever. So I was like, oh, she's so right. So I went to like Victoria's Secret at the time. And I was like, oh no. And didn't find anything. I was like, this is too much. So I went to Gap.
What, you didn't like the pom-poms coming off of the tassels
like scratching
on your
my
underwear?
Asshole. And so I was like, I'll go to Gap. So I went to Gap and I bought this like little nighty thing. What did Justin call it? He called it.
Was it long or short?
It was a one piece. So it was like a strappy cami, but like it was connected to shorts.
Connected.
It was like, I thought it was fine. I was like, oh, this is cute. Like I'm being thoughtful about he thinks that I have it all together.
Oh.
Because I have I'm thoughtful about my nightwear and I'm thoughtful about my daywear.
This is a bait and switch situation.
100%. But it wasn't even a bait and switch because he's like, oh, I like this little, what do you call it? Jersey. He called it a jersey because it like hang down too low. And then he called it like diaper. I was like, oh, this like did not work. And I was trying so hard to be like sexy.
I remember in college.
Oh yeah.
With like before my long-term boyfriend, like specifically like on a Friday after classes, going like downtown, like to wherever the shopping was and getting new underwear for the activities I would be doing over the weekend. Cause I'm like, I can't be in the same underwear. Well, you know what I mean?
That's when I had like 100 pairs of underwear.
Hundreds. I would get the 5 for $25 at Victoria's Secret probably every Friday.
Yeah.
My mom's like, what's this charge? And I'm like, well,
shit, that was on your parents' card?
Of course. Everything was on that card and I didn't literally full disclosure. I'm going to sound like such a little cunt. I didn't understand the credit card thing. My parents never taught me. Literally, I didn't understand it. So like every weekend I'd like charge dinners, whatever. My mom's like, what is going on?
Well, did you understand when they said something to you?
Yeah. But then I was like,
Totally.
I had this weird thing with just, I had like resentment over the fact that like my parents had resentment around money. So I would like was resentful that they were resentful about it. So I was just like, fuck this. So ungrateful in that way. And then I got hip to it when I had to pay my own bills. Yeah. And I felt really bad. I actually paid back like a few months of credit card because I was just like, I felt like it was karma. I was like, I really have to like pay back this debt.
Oh, to them? Or
yeah.
Did they pay it off for you? Or what was?
Yeah, it was like, I never paid it during it, but then I went back and I like the last few months of school after I graduated, I was like, I feel really, because like reality hit and I was like, oh wow, that was actually really shitty of me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, everyone's like situation was like so different. I pay for everything myself except for my housing my parents paid for. But whatever. I was living in it was Ohio. Like everything was 40 cents.
But I mean, we're lucky because we had our colleges
100%
taken care of in that way.
100%. I mean, so lucky. But people have college debt, like fucking shout out to you.
I was talking to my one of my best friends from high school, and she's working 2 jobs now, and she's a nurse. To work 2 jobs as a nurse is like the most incredible. Like I can't even fathom that.
Should be illegal.
It's illegal. Because she's like, I'm drowning.
She needs to be rested. She needs to feel good. She needs to feel centered.
She's drowning in student debt.
See, that's the thing. Right now, it's like, so average wages haven't increased, but the amount of college, the price of college is, my dad's college was $5,000 a semester. So, back then it's a long time ago, but if you think about now, it's like, or no, it was $5,000 for the year, maybe $2,500 a semester. Now, like USC is like $35,000
at least. Yeah, it's like, crazy. BC was
very expensive,
$50K a year.
So 25 a semester or something.
So semesters are 2 years.
Yeah. So that would be that makes sense. So then it's because I was like, I don't think it's. And that's just the fact that now they understand it as a business and, everything like that is just such bullcrap.
And I mean, I loved my college experience, but I've said it before, didn't need to go there.
Totally same.
So I'm going to like let my kids figure it out, but I also won't be pushing them necessarily like, hey, apply to Ivy Leagues,
watch YouTube.
All you have to do is be passionate and apply yourself, and you're going to get out what you put in college. And I definitely did not put in what I should have, to be completely honest.
That's because it was given to
me. Yes. I think that's part of it. I think it's like this urgency isn't there.
Yeah.
Where it's like this.
Yeah. And also too, it was like, oh yeah, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. And it was like, everyone kept telling me I'll figure it out, which like, yeah, I did 8 years later, now that I'm 30. But like, no, there was no urgency for me to like figure out what I wanted to do after college. So it's like, I didn't have a purpose through college, to find something that I was going to do after, I guess.
Well, we're just,
maybe expectations were so low for me. It was like, just get a job, please, God.
In a way, like we're brainwashed at a very young age that college is going to guarantee that we're going to find what we want to do, who we want to be.
Yes.
And actually, I mean, I won't speak for everyone, but I know for us at least, like it was a time when I like kind of lost myself. You're kind of in a bubble. So then you feel safe enough to drink too much, to get into fucked up relationships, to have a bad relationship with your body. Like it's safe enough where you can do that. But the focus is on the education, where the focus should be on self-care and like more of like the spiritual body and the mental body rather, I don't know, and the physical body. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but it's also too, it's like, like living on your own, like freedom. It's like,
but we're not.
Yeah.
Like we are, but we're not.
Yeah, exactly. And too, like, what does freedom mean? You know what I mean? Like freedom means getting wasted and like, like it's not like I was so like my parents were so strict. I mean, obviously they didn't want me to drink. My curfew was 11. But it's like, why was it so like freedom means wearing togas and drinking in a frat? Like, no, you know what I mean?
Freedom is going upside down and doing a keg stand.
Freedom is getting high and watching Jeopardy with your boyfriend's roommate. Like actually, like freedom means having frozen yogurt all the time at the food court whenever I wanted. That's actually what it meant to me.
Yeah, I also think too that people drink excessively now and party excessively now in their 30s and whatever. I saw it a lot more in New York, but like I think it's now because what it reminds them of is that time of where they felt like they were free and didn't have responsibility, so they kind of go back home by drinking. They're
100%.
Like, this is where I feel like because their lives are so serious and by the books and they have suits on and all of that. I mean, I have tons of friends who are like in finance and I'm like, hey, how was your weekend? They're like, I don't remember, but I think it was good. I feel like shit today. You know, it's like,
well, it essentially gives them something to do. Like sometimes it's like, I always remember like being hungover gave you something to do because you had to like nurse yourself back to health. You're like, oh, I can't like go to yoga or like better myself, however, in whatever way that is, or like give back because I'm in bed all day. You know, I feel sick or I feel like.
Well, it's funny how like, and now that we have the podcast too, I have like friends who reach out and they're just like, I want this. Like I see myself doing this and I want this. And it's like, I'm not a therapist and I'm not a doctor and I'm not licensed to anything, but you know, what they're doing in their everyday is not aligning to what they're telling me they want. And like more specifically recently, I had a friend talk about another friend who wants to have a baby and she's still drinking and going out and partying and like stressing about like stupid bullshit. And she's wondering why her body, listen, everyone has many reasons why they can't get pregnant. So this is me just kind of blanketing, you know, the experience, but it's more like to give yourself the best chance to get pregnant. Like, how do you expect just the temple to be ready if it's full of poison and
100%.
whatever?
I mean, that's like been my whole fucking life. Like people just being like, I want X, Y, and Z, and literally, actually, you don't. And I've literally said that since I was 14, is people being like, oh, I want this or I want that. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Like, especially as I would like change and evolve, like people would say like, oh, I wish I could travel. And this is, you know, this is my experience, whatever. It's everyone's different. And people like, oh, I wish I could travel as much as you. And it'd be like, no, you don't. Because you wouldn't like, I didn't drink. Like I basically stopped drinking in Chicago so that I could travel more. You know, like I'm like, no, you don't, because you're not going to like not drink, or no, you don't, because you're not going to not travel, or you're not going to not shop, or you're not going to, you know, spend money on like dumbass shit. And like people would say, you know, oh, I wish like, even with like Justin, it's like, I wish I could have a relationship with like you, which everyone is different, you know, whatever. But it's like, oh, then you wouldn't like, for 8 months, Justin and I only texted. Like I literally went for it so hard and like risked everything. It's like, well, then you wouldn't, because you're not going to risk everything to like make yourself uncomfortable, make yourself like worried. Like I was like worried sick a lot of the time we were talking, because I'm like, if this is going to happen or not. And then with Almost 30, it's like, oh, are you willing to like put everything on the line and like share everything with the whole world? Like probably not. And like work 7 days a week.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Probably not.
Preach. Hey y'all, I'm going full time.
By this point, it'll be next week.
No. Oh, next week. Yeah. You're right.
Because are you going to Vegas?
Nope.
Oh, no.
I said no.
No. I wanted you to.
Because why?
I don't know.
They wanted me to help like train and look after the new instructors in Vegas, which is really exciting. If you go to Vegas, go to Soul Cycle. It is incredible. The studio is gnarly.
I heard isn't it a disco ball or something?
Oh no, no.
There's no
disco balls on like Upper East Side. This is like full on, like you walk in and like the walls are a screen. Like it's crazy. It's like an experience. It's cool. Yeah, I said no, because why would I like invest time in that? I don't like Vegas. Dude. Armpit.
Justin keeps saying this. Like, let's just spend 2 days in Vegas.
Why?
Literally, why? He's like, I want to like gamble. I want to like whatever. I'm like, sure.
Do you?
I'm like, okay. He likes the sports gamble because it's
totally,
like,
yeah,
whatever. But
my brother will sit. He doesn't go to Vegas often, but when he does, I love him because he's totally sober. Doesn't drink when he plays poker. He plays poker for like 10 hours. I'm like, okay, it's crazy,
dude. I'm trying to think of like,
how do you do it?
Dude, I know.
But meditation is his new superpower when he plays poker.
Who? Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan did the TM training.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He loves it.
No way.
I know. So happy.
Has he been doing it?
Mm-hmm. Every day. Because he lives a block from the ocean. So he goes down there.
Dude, has that changing his life?
Mm-hmm. He sounds really different.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My mom even said it. Yeah. So good.
Dude, that's the thing. That's the thing. My sister too. Like she has pretty bad anxiety, whatever. And I'm like, dude, you gotta meditate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, do you want to change?
The hardest part is starting.
Yeah, it is. And and also too, like, not everything in life is going to be easy for you to like get a benefit. Yeah. Everyone's like, it's hard. I can't do it. Well, it's like, well, then you don't really want to clear your mind, rewire your brain, change your thoughts, make yourself more calm, make yourself more happy. Like you don't.
It's also not excruciating. So just
literally, if sitting by yourself for 5 minutes and you think is hard, hey, I've been there. So I know how you feel, but
Yeah. I don't know. I'm proud of him. Anyway. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Today on the podcast, we have our sisters from another better body.
I know, literally. Sisters from gorgeous mister.
We have Karena and Katrina of Tone It Up, the fitness empire.
Empire, straight up.
It's been around for 10 years. They started from the ground up.
Yep.
Kind of found each other just working in the fitness industry as trainers, and really like very similar to Krista and I's story, where it was just magnetic. You just knew from the get-go that, they knew that they were going to create something extraordinary and different. And they did. And think about it, 10 years ago, this stuff was not happening.
Dude, I was just crazy to talk to them and realize, I know they've been around for so long. I remember them from Bravo, but like to know that it's been 10 years in the making, like they did community before community was cool. They did community before Instagram. They did community before Facebook. They did women supporting women before it felt like what seems to be a movement that's happening now. And they just are pioneers, and they've worked so hard to create this brand that truly practices what they preach and supports women getting better, feeling better in their bodies, feeling more confident. And I just like am so proud of them, and I adore them. Like I thought they were so sweet. Like, and it just, those situations too make you feel so good to know that the women of the Tone It Up community, the TIU babes, who are incredible and awesome and stand for everything that we stand for, have them to look up to and can know, when they meet them and everything like that. And I'm sure that they know how amazing they are, but it feels good that they actually are as amazing as they think that they are. You know what I mean? Like they are the real deal. So when these people are looking up to them, it's like, no, that's true. And like everything that you think about them is absolutely on point.
Yeah. And they're so, visible in a way that like, I think they are big. Their community is huge.
Millions,
like I can't even fathom it. So the fact that they are just so open and willing, especially recently, Katrina having her daughter, Isabel, has been so open and honest about like her pregnancy journey. Her body has changed, and she's like now, empowering women, new mothers, that like your body is amazing. It's beautiful. I love that she posted, a photo of her body post-pregnancy, and she's like, I actually love my body now. Like she's like, I've loved my body, for working out and having results, but she's like, but think about it. Like you should love your body that you just gave birth to a human being.
I mean,
and I just love that I love that they're so different too. It was like they're just very different people, and they work together so well and have so much respect for each other. And, we experience that in our partnership, but I don't think that's so common. So I just love to see that, and we love them.
Yeah. And I love that, they have like the Tone It Up Own Your Story hashtag. And I know that Karena had an amazing speech about her experience through anxiety and depression and everything like that. And I think that was super powerful, and it's so timely. And I'm sure that everyone in the community, as well as myself, is really grateful that she shared her story. So Feels really good too that we're the first podcast that they've been on.
I know.
Like,
I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe it.
And the favorite.
Obviously.
They give us so many gifts.
So many.
We walked away.
I love my beach bag.
Oh, I love it.
Justin uses it too. I love it. Love
use
the beach
it for
bag.
everything. What else do you use it for? Everything.
Bring
your lunch to work.
I know. I always bring my lunch in something.
And also for our community, you can get 20% off on toneitup.com using the code almost30. Hello.
The protein.
It's so good. Not going to say anything more.
Protein's bomb.
It's real good. Okay, enjoy this episode. We love you so much. If you haven't already, rate and review on iTunes. Tell your friends to subscribe. During the month of December, this month, we are going to be encouraging all of you to gift episodes to friends and family. Whether it's starting, an important conversation within your group of friends or family, or, someone might be going through a breakup or a loss, you can subscribe an episode that will hopefully help them to get through it. So check that out on Instagram. What else? Our podcast, yourpodcastpro.com. There are a few more weeks to go before we close signups. We'd love to have you join. We have a really amazing group thus far.
It's going awesome. And I talked to someone today, that even was like, yeah, I want to start a podcast, but I'm nervous. And, I don't know what to do. Well, we're here to help you get through that. And we're here to help you spread your message, spread your story. And I think before in a little bit of time, I think everyone will have a podcast, much like everyone has a blog, much like everyone has a website. But it's really a great way for you to connect with others, share their story, get your voice heard, get your brand's voice heard, everything like that. So Your Podcast Pro is the best resource for everything you need related to podcasting and making it a business.
Amen, sister.
Amen.
All right. We'll see you on the other side. Enjoy this one.
Guys, I am so pumped. Justin couldn't believe that we are working with NutriBullet because my nickname at home is Jamba Juice. I am, much to his dismay, I am blending things up at 6 a.m. I am blending things up in the evening. I make smoothies, my teas, everything like that. So when NutriBullet said that they wanted to work with Lindsey and I could not have been more honored.
Yeah, truly. It's a brand that they've been around for so long. They've evolved with kind of the trends and the needs of people who are really serious about health and wellness. I'm just obsessed with this brand.
I am too. And then we've been working with them. So before I had the regular NutriBullet and I loved it, I've had it for years and years. And so I was really thankful that they sent us the balance because I have a tendency to
overpack
my smoothies. And I put so much in there. And, a lot of times I can get all the nutrients I need and not have as much. So it's kind of been a good eye-opening thing for me to have the balance, the NutriBullet balance, and then have the app and sort of track and see how much and how many calories and fat and carbs of everything in my smoothie that I'm putting in. So I'm not being hard and fast with anything, but it does really help me understand my nutritional macros and, whatever I'm having for my breakfast so that I can kind of take that into consideration for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's so great. And it's not intimidating. I'll be honest, sometimes when brands say they've made things more high tech, I get nervous. This is so user-friendly, not intimidating at all. It's kind of fun. It makes the smoothie making, or if you're making soups or dressings, whatever you're making, really, really fun. So they've collaborated with nutritionists, dietitians, app developers, and just created this really fun experience. And you can customize it to fit your own needs, and you will just enjoy it. It's like one of those things where you're like, oh, this is actually fun.
They have tons of recipes and smoothie types. Like you can be like, I want low sugar, or I'm diabetic, I'm vegan, I need high protein. So on the app, you have the ability to get all these amazing recipes tailored to whatever your diet needs are.
Yeah. And so with the help of Bluetooth technology and the Smart Nutrition sensor, it's able to actually tell you the calories, protein, carbs, fat, and sugar intake based on the ingredient volume in the actual container of the NutriBullet Balance. So it's really exciting technology, making your life easier. The more you know, I think it's just like really powerful to have that information as you nourish your body. So for our listeners, we're really, really excited. We get to offer you 25% off if you use the code almost30 at checkout. So you can go to nutribulletbalance.com and use our code almost30 for 25% off. So that's NUTRI bulletbalance.com. Code is almost30 for 25% off. Well, we're so lucky. We're in the gorgeous Manhattan Beach with Karena and Katrina of Tone It Up.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hoping you would invite us to the offices. We're like, we'll come down.
It's an expanding moment for sure.
We're so lucky that you girls are here.
Yeah.
I mean, your office and you guys have so many people on your team. It's like you guys are doing so much. It's just
very expanding.
Yeah. Very expanding to see everyone and to see everyone so happy and everyone just like all around the same mission, you know, like, and you guys creating this space for like such a beautiful thing. And we've been lovers of your products for a long time. We've been watching you guys for a long time. And so many women in our community use your guides and have seen you really, really grow. So we're so excited to interview you and kind of explore, you know, your journey today and talk about what's going on in the future.
Yeah. And we'd love to know. I actually don't know the story. Sometimes I purposely don't look up certain aspects of people and their relationships because I kind of want to talk about it here. But how did you guys meet? And what was, for Krista and I, like just like starting a business came very soon after we met. So I'm always just kind of curious, like how that happened and how soon after.
We met and a month later we started Tone It Up. Basically. We actually became, you know, we moved in together after a month too. And then
when you know, you know.
Yeah, just like clicked. And I think that really helped progress what our mission and our brand is living together for the first year. I actually lived with her and her then boyfriend,
now husband.
Oh,
but you know, we both had a background in fitness, very different backgrounds, and we met here in Manhattan Beach. You had just moved here from Boston. I know we always tell each other stories, but we'll fill it in.
I know it's nice.
Yeah, and I am originally from Indiana, but I moved here a long time ago in the 90s.
Where in Indiana?
I was born in a small town called Peru, Indiana.
Okay, I'm from Ohio.
Okay,
so, yeah,
but raised in
by.
Indianapolis.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're from Boston?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Where?
So I actually grew up in New Hampshire, Southern New Hampshire, and then I moved to Boston out of college. But I met my boyfriend, now husband. I met Brian. I'll name him. His name's Brian. I met him when I was in college, and he went to school in Bentley in Boston.
Oh, okay.
So I would go down there, and then out of college, I lived there, and I started filming fitness videos for YouTube, and I was a master trainer at Boston Sports Club. I loved it, and I started blogging when blogging was like, you know, even everyone was like, "What do you mean blog? Like, what is that word?" It's so funny, it's so weird. Aging myself. And then he got a job offer to either go to Chicago or LA. I mean,
wow.
I love Chicago. And if I ever lived anywhere and felt like home, it would probably be that because it's very similar to Boston. And I love it there. But I was like, okay, California would be amazing because I'm filming fitness videos on the Charles River, like dirty water in Boston and pretending it was the beach. We would actually use like a green screen.
No, you wouldn't.
And pretend that we're on the beach in Boston and filming videos. So I was like, oh, I could do fitness in California. And kind of everyone told me there's too much saturation in fitness in California. You're going to fail. Don't do it. A lot of discouragement. And so I think listening to outside voices and people that are negative about what you want to do for your dreams, you just shouldn't listen. And I just knew there was something. And when I came out, I was working at Equinox, and I saw, I didn't have any girlfriends here yet. And I was like, you know, asking my boyfriend, oh, how do these shoes look? Or things like that. He's like, you really need to meet some friends. And I saw Karena coming into the gym. She was coming in like on a Friday night, riding the bike
every night.
Yeah, every night.
I had just gone through a breakup, and he got most of the friends in it because we had been together for almost 7 years.
Isn't that fucked up when that happens? That's really sad when that happens.
So I was like, Friday night, I guess I'll go read a book again on the recumbent bike. But that was my thing and I loved it. Yeah. And so I was actually, and then I was stretching one day and Katrina's there and she comes over and introduces herself. And
no
she goes,
way.
Well, she doesn't know. Like I was watching her from afar for a while.
Yeah. For a few weeks.
And I was like, this is perfect because she obviously has nothing else to do. And so I told,
Thank you.
I'm like, she's here on a Friday night riding a bike. I'm like, she's going to be my friend. But it's really cool because as soon as I started talking to her, it was really neat because she had been blogging. She had a website. She was traveling for fitness modeling and she was doing triathlon. I'm just going to tell you a story.
Go for it.
And she was a host and
but we both had this, our own world of fitness in two different realms, but we were passionate about fitness and we started hanging out together after running into each other at the grocery store out here on the Strand, which is the path on the beach here. And just realizing we had so much in common and a passion for fitness and why we got into fitness. Two different stories, but fitness changed both of our lives in two different dynamic ways. And we were like, we need to let women know that living a healthy life and being healthy can transform you, transform your mood and your lifestyle. And you don't have to be too serious. And we wanted to create a community together. And we were like, let's work together. Let's move in together.
There were no communities for women that were positive for fitness. There was nothing. And there was no way to meet other girls through fitness in a positive way. It was very much like wear your headphones, go into the gym, maybe like lift some weights. I don't know. But it was like social fitness wasn't a thing and positive fitness wasn't a thing. And then if you were working with a trainer, you couldn't go home that night and have a glass of wine or two and that'd be okay either. Like we're the first trainers to tell you like eat what you want, drink, have wine, have fun, and come in and crush your workout tomorrow and don't feel guilty about it. So.
All about the balance.
It's crazy about the vlog thing too, that people at that point were telling you it's too saturated. Oh, I guess in California as a fitness instructor.
Just fitness in general.
Yeah. But it seems like now, I guess then I'm doing the same thing as being like, now it's saturated. You just always look back and don't think that.
I think at the time too, when I was telling, I had to actually, I love all my clients in Boston, but I did have to let over 100 people know. And then the hundreds of people that would come to my class know that I was leaving. And so, I got a lot of support. I still talk with some clients and, the voices though that tell you those things you'll never forget. You never forget the people that support you, but you'll never forget like that one person that's just like, you'll be back. You won't make it out there. And you're like, wow, I can't believe that someone actually said that to me and I know who they are.
And sometimes they think they're helping you.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, you'll be back. Haha. So that was weird.
I don't think they think they're helping you. I think they probably were a little
didn't
jealous
get the opportunity to
in a little way. And they want to be that person that goes and really goes for their dreams and isn't hesitating. And a lot of people, you don't do that.
Yeah. And if it's not jealousy too, it's like if someone doesn't believe in themselves, then they're not going to believe that you can achieve something. Yeah. So when you talk to someone who's very self-doubt, doesn't think that they can achieve something, or it's like so out of their perception of what's actually capable, then they won't ever think that that's an option for you. But I think that that's the coolest part is that Karena and I know that anything is possible. And
you're like,
so
I was going to say, we like to take risk. I think you're a much better risk taker now.
I know. I took a risk. I came out here. I took a risk and talked to you. Yeah. I'm like a more play it safe gal in this relationship. And then Karena's like, fuck it, let's do it.
Love that.
Yeah. How is it, describe like kind of the balancing out in your relationship? Because I think we have that too, where I think because you guys are so different, that's why part of the reason why you've been so successful. Like what other aspects of your relationship just work so well?
She's the chef.
Oh yeah, I used to cook for her and her boyfriend when I lived.
Oh my god,
I love that he still doesn't have a name. Like we tried to name him,
Brian. We're gonna start calling him Brian.
Poor guy,
baby daddy.
Yeah. They should call him daddy. I think what Karena and I bring to the table together is so much. It's the yin and the yang. It wouldn't exist if there weren't both parts. We know exactly how to boost each other and bring each other up and empower each other. And she empowers me and I empower her. And the things that we could have ever like dreamt of doing on our own, we needed that other person to boost us. So it's like, it's actually such a perfect partnership, perfect friendship, perfect lifetime. What are we?
Yeah. Without our two very dynamic personalities, I don't think that anyone else could have built a community like Tone It Up, but that's what you need. And we are representatives of all the different types of women. But yeah, even building the business together and our different strengths that we both had, it was a gift from God that we met because we were able to create this community that so many women benefit from.
Yeah. And when we look around, I mean, you saw our office and everyone that works here. It's really cool because we can tell everyone that works here, we've had your job. So Karena and I, starting Tone It Up, we've had every single person's job here. So when they're having a tough day or they're going through something or they're problem solving, trying to figure something out, had that job and we can relate to them. So the amount of empathy that we have here, the amount of leadership that I actually said yesterday, it's like a 10-year MBA, just growing Tone It Up here. It's been crazy. And so learning everything and then being able to teach it and then hiring people that are smarter than you at those things and saying, I was figuring it out for a while. Like I was doing our graphics for a while. I should not be doing that.
I was doing our accounting for a while. I definitely should not be doing that.
No. I'm kind of doing that now. It's hilarious.
I'm like,
I'm like using Venmo and like shit for it. I'm like,
oh my gosh. Right. Karina's so cute too because she used to sit in our living room. Our living room. And she would manually send everyone our Tone It Up nutrition program, which we still have our Tone It Up nutrition program.
Sure.
So these products we still have. And it's kind of cool knowing the evolution of that and that the fact that she used to sit there and manually send it to everyone. But now if you get it, you get it right away. Like you don't have to wait for Karena to wake up in the morning. But it's really cool and knowing where we started and all the work that has gone into it and the sacrifices and all of it. And I don't know, it's really neat to reflect and look back.
Yeah, I think the other thing besides us having like our individual unique qualities is the thing that we do have in common is non-judgment towards women or ourselves and not being competitive. Because two women coming together like yourselves, creating this community or just working together and not being competitive, you can't do that unless you don't judge and you don't compete.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Have you guys always been that way or did you have to like learn that? Were there periods in time in your life when you maybe felt yourself being competitive with one another or was it always just like smooth sailing in your relationship where you understood how to like communicate and that you did have your roles and balances? Or were there ever times where you guys had to like level set again and be like, okay, this is what's working for me. This is what's not.
We've had like conversations where we each hit a breaking point where we're like, not sure if I can handle this workload anymore. I need help. And that's where we help each other figure it out. But we've never had that conversation where like what we're doing together isn't working, which is really good. But I think the innate girls girl wanting to boost the women around us, team player and never competitive, that's just something that's in us and has always been in us. And
even our different backgrounds, and we both were very successful in our own right. And then coming together and sharing that success together and not being competitive about it and just being so open with relationships we had and, knowledge that we've had and just really taking everything that we've learned and bringing it together. And I think that is the power of it all.
That reminds me too, we both had someone from both of our pasts call us about probably 8 months into us working with each other. And it was a similar phone call. And the phone call, you know what I'm talking about? Was, I cannot believe you are taking your successful career that you have. I mean, mind you, yes, we had successful careers so far, but this was 9 years ago. That wasn't the end. Like world domination, let's go. So I cannot believe you're sharing your success right now with someone else and you just met her. And I'm sure you guys experienced that too.
No, but I know the mentality. Like, I feel like there's a generation a little, like my parents' generation might think like, you should do it yourself and you should do whatever. I haven't had that with this, but I'm like nodding because I feel that.
But it's also then, isn't it so nice that you guys get to share your successes and your failures together?
Yeah.
And travel together.
The collective energy too. Like vibrationally, like I wouldn't be able to do this. You know, it's just so much.
Yeah.
Like
It was
so much. And
totally
like you guys too, like our relationship sets the precedence for the women in our community too. Like the way I support her, the way she supports me, the way like we interact really like is an example for the women that we interact with as well.
Yeah.
Which is so important.
Totally. And it started with that. It started with, hell yeah, I'm going to share this because do you know what she's sharing with me? Do you know that she brings so much to this too? And not only that, but we don't ever have to be alone ever again. We get to do this together.
Yeah.
And so we both had the same conversation with two separate people. And again, you never remember, you never forget that. So if anyone's listening right now that someone's telling you that you can't, but you feel it inside that you can, like you absolutely can. When you believe in something and you have a message to share and you know that you can share it, do it, and don't listen to any doubt or anything that comes to you. And parental, even just your sister.
I feel like sometimes like parents hover in a way that they don't see the bigger picture. You know, they just kind of think about their child and like not think of the, you know, my mom is another case, but my dad's like, oh, wow. So people like know what you're doing and like there's a community, you know, like to them, they're very like, you do it yourself and you get, you know, you gain that success on your own. So it's like, it's beautiful to kind of like bring them in and be like, yes, this is much bigger than me.
I always say when my parents would get nervous about what I was doing, because they've been our number one supporters and my number one supporters, whenever they were like, okay, so are you going to get a real job or anything like that? Like along the way, there was a lot of struggles. And obviously it's safe to go to a big corporation or something where you get all the package deal or whatever. But I'm like, you did this. You showed me work ethic. You showed me, my mom's very entrepreneurial. My dad's work ethic is amazing. And so Karena can say same thing about her father. It's like, at first they get a little nervous about moving to California or a little nervous about this or that. It's just a protective mode. And then when they see you flourishing, you can actually just say, you're actually the one that inspired me to do this. So,
yeah. It's a good one. Put it on them. I was saying too, like also for parents or other people, and especially for you guys, is you guys did something that no one else has done before.
Yeah.
You guys like really did focus on the community early on. You guys did something together as two women. You guys really were ahead of the curve of creating the app, of creating the products, like of creating just like the content, like all that you've done is like no one has really done before. So it's hard to explain and have understanding from people when they don't have an example to look upon.
Yeah, we were the first fitness duo. A lot of what we did together was a first. And so, you know, everyone asked like, who are your mentors or who do you look up to? And we're like, we're inspired. We had a message to share and something we wanted to do and something we were passionate about. And we just followed it, you know, cherished that.
Yeah.
I love that. Lindsey and I have been away on tour and we roll around with our away luggage, baby.
It's hilarious. We're like a little pod of away fans.
Yeah, we just roll around with our aways. But it's so nice because a lot of times when we travel, I will lose charge for either my phone or whatever. And it is major that Away has the portable charger just in the suitcase.
Yeah, Away was inspired by true travel stories, which is nice. So they asked like thousands of people, what ticks you off about travel? What do you never prepare for? Like just all of the questions that are important, how they pack, why they travel. So they've created this perfect luggage that is designed to be resilient, resourceful, and essential to the way that you travel today. And it's really made our life so much easier. So much easier.
So much easier.
You can sit on it.
Yeah, we sit on it. It's just stylish, functional, easy. And like, it's just, I feel more adult with a clean, nice luggage.
Yeah, such a good point. Such a good point. They're made with, if you care, I care actually, I'm geeky about this stuff, but premium German polycarbonate, which is unrivaled in strength. So, you know, when they're knocking around these luggage pieces back behind the curtains, your stuff is going to be protected, just so you know. So for our listeners, for $20 off a suitcase, you can visit awaytravel.com/almost30 and use our code almost30 during checkout. So that's $20 off a suitcase, awaytravel.com/almost30 and use the code almost30.
One of my goals this year was actually to get a therapist. So I'm so thankful that we are partnering with Talkspace, which helps you to get a therapist and get access to therapy at an affordable basis and on your terms. So I was able to do an assessment, you know, do an online assessment of what's going on in my life, choose a plan. So that's a budget plan based on weekly. It's really affordable, much more affordable than what any, you know, in-person therapist that I know of was. And then I began therapy with my own specific therapist that I could access whenever I wanted. So I could set aside time of the day, which I did, you know, on a specific time, or you could reach out to them, you know, whenever you want during the week messaging. And then they can respond to you 1 to twice per day. So when I needed, you know, a little advice about something that I was thinking in the moment, it was really helpful to have my therapist reach out to me immediately.
It's an incredible resource, and they have 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing life's challenges, so you can trust them. And so for our listeners, you can go to Talkspace.com/almost30 and use the code almost30 to get $45 off your first month. So that's Talkspace.com/almost30. Use the code almost30 and you get $45 off your first month. That is really, really affordable, and I think just a great tool for you as you are growing and living and being.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm excited for you guys to try Talkspace.
When did the community start to form? Like, what were your first, like, goosebump moments when you're like, oh my God, this is so much bigger?
Yeah.
I was just going to say the same thing.
So it was, we were in New York because we were working with Oakley at the time. They were one of my past, like, through triathlon, working with them. And then we did a campaign when we first started Tone It Up.
That's an example. She had Oakley as a client for a while as a model. And then all of a sudden I was posted up on every
billboard.
Well, you were on billboards. I never got the billboards.
But then I went to them and I said, hey, starting this company, Tone It Up. We want to be sponsored by you, not just me anymore. There's both of us. And cool. I would say that was like a big...
Remember when we were both in the ads? My mom was checking out of the grocery store and we were like on the back covers of like fitness magazine and like in style. And my mom told the cashier that
she's like, this is my daughter, but it was really me.
Yeah. She was like, these are both my daughters. And she's like, I know it was a stretch, but I'm just so proud. Anyway, that's an example of sharing, you know? It's like there's no, just means success for more success.
Yeah, but even back then working with Oakley, and then we personally reached out to Self Magazine to pitch ourselves because we didn't have a PR agency at the time.
Who's now the editor-in-chief of Good Housekeeping. Wow. She's brilliant, amazing, but I got a hold of her and then I had a phone call with her. And then the whole time I was talking, she thought I was our publicist, remember? Yeah. At the end, she's just like, all right, well, when would we like to shoot Karena and Katrina? I was like, oh, no. Like, I am her. She's like, oh yeah, this whole time you're so good on the phone. I thought you were like their publicist. You're talking about covers. I'm like, I'm just going all in. We literally just started. It happened eventually. But anyway.
So we had an event. It was our first meetup in Times Square at the Oakley store. And we were so nervous because it was probably a year and a half into Tone It Up. And we were like, okay, we're going to put this on social media, which social media even back then, like Instagram had just started. I don't even think we were on Instagram yet.
Oh, wow. Like
Instagram Twitter, did not exist. Facebook and YouTube.
We're 85 for anyone listening.
Oh, easy.
But, you know, we were so nervous. We're like, we're having this meetup and no one's going to show up. And then we get to the store and we get out of the taxi. I don't even know if there was Uber at the time. And there's a line wrapped around the block with hundreds of people, of women. Oh my. And we were like, wow. Like,
well, at first we were like, what's going on here? Where's our event? Yeah. And then we realized they're all part of the community.
And we just went we walked through, went in a dressing room and just like sat down. We're like, wait, really? Like just having that many women already being impacted and create this community that we dreamed of was actually happening. And it was from the beginning, women coming to share their story about how fitness has helped them recover from anything. And it just started from there. And we're like, okay, that gave us that extra boost. Like, okay, we're doing something right. Keep going. We weren't, financially, we weren't. I think we were broke.
I mean, we were bad. It was bad.
But we were inspiring, and that was the number one goal. So we were just following our passion. And
you guys get out of the cab. You're like, can one of you guys get this cab?
Exactly.
No, our first bank account when we started Tone It Up, we each had to come up with $50. And because we started Tone It Up, and then we kind of quit our day job because we were so focused and we didn't have time to do what we each were doing, with training personal clients or what I was doing and like hosting and triathlon and the fitness modeling. We stopped and we stayed home and we worked every day. And so we lived off of our savings, and eventually that left. That went away.
I asked my mom.
I asked my dad.
Yeah, just 1 month. It was just 1 month. I'll never forget it. I'm like, it's your fault. Just blame them. We also had some other aha moments too. I think obviously Tone It Up is about working out. It's so much more than squats and anything like that, though. It's really the connection that you have with women, and through fitness and respecting your body and positive self-talk and connecting with women wherever it is. And when we started seeing girls in each other's weddings that met through Tone It Up, getting together. Remember we used to do the random phone calls, and we would just choose someone that we could see that was on Twitter. Again, Instagram was not a thing. If they were on Twitter, and then we would check our system to see if we had their phone number, because if they entered in their phone number, if they bought the nutrition plan or something.
Which I don't think is legal for us.
Yeah.
It's really their information and call them.
We've done.
They're like, never call me again.
Done some questionable stuff. So, and then we would call them and be like, hi, it's Karena and Katrina. We would film it and we put it on YouTube later. And it was just like a surprise phone call. We had like a Wild Wednesday phone call or something
like that. Yeah.
And we called these girls, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm with 15 other Tone It Up girls in Chicago right now. We're getting together. We're doing a race tomorrow. We're out for drinks tonight. Haha. Who knows if we're going to make the race tomorrow? Like all this stuff. And I was like, the coolest part about this is that we didn't get invited. It's so much bigger than us now. It was like,
that all the time.
That was so cool.
That is amazing.
That was like a moment. I mean, we had FOMO. We were like, why aren't we going? But
for a moment, you're like, cool, but like, what?
Can we come? But that's when we realized Tone It Up is so much more than the two of us. It is this beautiful, flourishing community that continues to feed each other's lives with just fulfillment of female friendship, empowerment, and positivity.
Was your relationship with other women always kind of that feeling, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've always had really, really strong female relationships in my life. And a lot of our girlfriends I've known for 16 years. The joke is though, like if once you're in my life, like now you girls you're screwed. You're not going to be let out.
You're like, come to the birth.
Yes. Oh my God. Should we podcast the birth? I don't really, I call it loyalty, but it's also like a little bit, I really love to foster relationships and live this life with really good people that we meet. So, including Karena.
Oh,
I would say my girlfriend relationships, I've had really great ones, and I've had some falling outs. I would say I wasn't raised with a strong female relationship from a mom perspective. So it was definitely, something I cherish, and I love my friendships, but I keep them, narrow and what is it? Narrow and deep.
No, you don't. No. That's not narrow and deep.
Or
wait, yes, narrow and we go real deep together.
And wide and narrow and deep. But I know exactly what you mean. And there was something you talked about earlier, like at the beginning of the story when we kind of went a little off track, where you talked about I think you guys each had an instance that kind of set you on to fitness or like a situation or something. Can you guys talk about those?
Yeah. I started with fitness watching my mom work out to like Jane Fonda VHS tapes when I was a little girl. And actually, my first grade project, I created my first fitness video. So I always was very passionate. It was like, I want to do that one day. And I ran my first half marathon when I was 12. I did with my dad. And I was very active, loved fitness. It made me happy. And I felt accomplished. And then when I was 12, my mom was disappeared, and it was a whole thing. She ended up being diagnosed with schizophrenia. And so my whole like teenage years to my early 20s was filled with like depression and not taking care of my body and drugs, and just everything was downhill. And so finally at 21, 22, I had this like aha moment of, I am going to die like this. Like, I can't live like this. And I decided to make a change. So I stopped it all. I went to therapy, read every self-help book. And I said, I actually thought back in my head, like, what made me happy? Like, I remember one time in my life, I was happy. And I was like, I was running. So I decided to sign up for a triathlon and train for it and actually do it and finally accomplish something. Because I thought, I'd always end up like my mom, and I was so down on myself. And so then doing that triathlon made me realize that I can do something that I set my mind to. And also it made me feel really good. So that's how I got into triathlon and back into, it's like, okay, I always wanted to be a personal trainer. Go do it. So I just like really worked on myself that way, and just, fitness helped me. It became my therapy. Running was my therapy. Being on the bike, challenging myself to do a half Ironman, anything that would like made me uncomfortable. It really did save me.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow.
That was so cool.
She made me do a triathlon too. It was really bad.
How'd it go?
I breaststroke. Is it called breaststroke? It's a breast.
Swimming
weird.
isn't my thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was scared. It was in Malibu in the ocean.
Oh, in the ocean?
I did an ocean swim recently. I was like, wow, mad respect.
That was a bold move.
And it was
mad
really,
respect to everyone
the water
who
was so
does.
clear, and you
I
could actually
definitely-
see how deep it was.
Really?
And I was like so afraid to, like, I kept looking down every
I'd
single
be afraid
time.
someone would kick me in the face.
Oh, that happens.
Oh, they do. They I've been in the water, and they're like so aggressive, like pulling you down, kicking you back.
This is not a competition, or is it? Like, I don't know. I guess.
You need to tone it up triathlon, and everyone's really nice and
Yeah.
support. Like, everyone
Go
pushes
ahead.
each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Or we have our Rose 5Ks. We need to get those back going. But before we did a triathlon together, Karena was like, you really need to like calm down before you get in the water, because everyone runs in the water and their heart is racing, and then you're swimming, and then you're almost going to drown. I was like, okay, yeah, totally cool, got this. Ran into the water, and I was like, I'm drowning.
Like, total panic attack. The first time I went in for my first race, total panic attack in the water.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
I
you
thought I was
warned
gonna
me.
drown. I
but,
told
like,
you.
Yeah, it was hard. And then I started floating on my back. People were swimming over me, and I was like,
Like,
I was like,
chilling.
I'm looking at
You're like,
Karena.
I'm
I'm
just
like,
gonna
go
die.
without me. Yeah.
It's like, this is it.
I was like, she was right. But I started in fitness. I think I always wanted to be active. I always wanted to be doing sports, but that was never me. Like through elementary school, I saw the girls doing that. And I just didn't think that I could do that. And if I'm out of breath, I'm just extremely pregnant. I'm not sure if we've mentioned that yet, but I'm like literally 9 months pregnant.
We're doing
and there's
squats this whole interview.
there's no
like a roll
space
here.
for my lungs. It's so crazy.
I know. I
There's
was
no
thinking
space
about
for my
that.
lungs. Oh my gosh.
I can imagine.
Pushing. So I'm like, I'm just out of breath sitting here. And I have indigestion. Sorry. So I was the heaviest girl in my class, and it was about, 5th and 6th grade. And I knew I was heavier. I knew that I was different. And I had a couple friends, like a neighbor that I grew up next to. And then I had someone else that was a neighbor that homeschooled. And I mean, she was no judgment. And, but it was tough. And I think that we all get teased. Karena got teased in school. Everyone at some point gets bullied, no matter what. No matter, like, even if you're the most popular girl in school, you will get bullied. So it wasn't that my story was any different than anyone else's, because I went through it. But I think that I just dealt with a lot of words that were really hurtful. And so I went home to my parents, who are, again, still so supportive, never said that I was heavy. Long story short, went to like a outing with my dad, and it was at a race car track, and I won, it was like $500 because I bet on car number 1, because of course number 1's going to be number 1, right? I mean, that was like my thinking. It was the underdog. It was this car that wasn't supposed to win. So everyone in the entire suite that we were at this race car thing, and my dad was like, what do you want? I was like, I'd really love a treadmill because I need to lose weight. My dad was mortified.
Oh.
And that was the first time they had heard me say that. And he's like, what's going on? I was like, I'm getting teased. He was so, I mean, that I didn't ask for something else, like a trip to the mall or something with my friends, not knowing how much things cost. So here she built a little gym in our basement, and he got everything. I mean, we had like a little stair stepper. He got the whole works, which was, and he did mirrors, and he did like a stereo system. And so I used to just tear out workouts out of like, fitness. What were the magazines? Like Fitness RX too. Like it was like a lot of different Oxygen magazine.
Wow.
And so I had a bench. I felt really like empowered with like doing bench press and stuff. And so I started working out, and then I joined the track team in middle school. Did not continue high school. I'm a terrible runner, but it was fun. And then I found a love for tennis, which I had played a little bit of tennis growing up. So, and I loved that. And I loved the team mentality too. I loved playing doubles. And I loved my whole tennis team and rooting each other on. The whole female relationship too with tennis was really great. And so in high school, see, I'm out of breath. I would work out at the gym every single day. I wouldn't I was like, I have to go and do this for myself before my day begins. And that was just part of my routine, and I loved it. And so when I was deciding what to go to school, to college for, I decided health science and nutrition. And that's kind of like what got me started. But it's
you were lifting before, you were a visionary.
Well, if you think so, yeah. It was cool because I think at the time it was Oxygen magazine too that had like, do this on the cable machine. I would be setting up the cable machine at like 16 years old, and there would be these big guys in the gym. But that was what I wanted to do, and I wanted to be educated on that and help other women. So, and then when I went to college, I started teaching fitness classes, and that's how I got into it. But
what is being like so close to your community taught you about like yourselves? And also I like that and to like your relationship with your body. Because sometimes like if I'm able to kind of see people, I can see myself in them and then kind of reflect on kind of what I'm going through at the same time. Has that happened for you?
Yeah, I would say even in the beginning of Tone It Up, I remember when we used to live together, I would be like, all right, we're a health and fitness brand. And back then my mind, 10 years ago thought so different. I was like, we have something to represent. And I was actually ashamed of my past. And I would say that meeting our community and hearing their stories and women opening up about it really opened me up to even wanting to talk about it more. And, realizing like you're not alone in your story. Like everyone's experienced that. And the more that women talk about it, the more that we can heal. And so I definitely have learned that from the community.
That's beautiful.
love that.
Me too. I've seen that too. And it's like, you step into that, you step into your experience and you then have like a pride in your experience instead of like a shame around it. And when I share something that is deep or, maybe I feel shameful about, and to have people reflect and even be grateful that I shared something like that means everything. And I can remember in my life, influencers or mentors or whatever have shared something. I'm like, oh my, and I'm like, I can't believe they shared that. And it like sticks with me. I'm like, that is like strength to like stand in whatever you've like been through. So that is like beautiful. So guys, I'm so excited about this partner. It makes me feel like a true adult. A few years ago, Justin was like, you have to check out this app. It's called Robinhood. And I was like, never usually says that. So I was interested. So I've actually been using Robinhood for a few years now. And Robinhood is an investing app. So it lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and crypto as well, commission free. So that's what's really special and important about them is that it's commission free, whereas brokerage firms could do $10 for every trade or various amounts, basically taking money from you when you want to be making money. So a few years ago when I got the app, I started to buy some random stocks that I just got pulled to or companies that I was interested in. And now I have my stocks and I'm playing the market on my Robinhood app. So it made
playing the market.
I know I'm playing the market. I'm really rich. So it makes it really easy. And it really just, the app is so easy to use. There's a great user experience. So if anyone wants to get into investing and doesn't know where to start, this is a great place.
Yeah. And I don't know a lot about this space. So this app is perfect. It's super user friendly for those that are just starting out, buying and trading stocks. And they let you view stock collections. So you can, there's like categories. So entertainment, social media, like for female CEOs, like, you know, it's really interesting how they do it and makes it very digestible and fun to do. So for our listeners, Robinhood is giving a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. Sign up at almost30.robinhood.com. That's almost30.robinhood.com. We're just really excited to share this tool with you. So join the secret Facebook group. Let us know what you're trading, what you're buying, and if you like it.
We're already talking about investing in the group. So this is going to be a perfect place. And this is basically the answer to finding a new way to learn by doing and to really start get our female finances in order.
Amen. How do they do it? They just keep upgrading. I'm sorry. The new collagen pop from Hum Nutrition is my go-to. This is going to make your skin look supple as hell. It is going to upgrade your water. It's delicious. It's premium marine collagen, which you know is highly absorbable and what we prefer. But Hum Nutrition is your one-stop shop for all high-quality vitamins. You know, it's really hard to surpass these strict regulations in the vitamin industry, and they meet all of the high quality standards. And leading nutritionists recommend Hum across the country, all over the world. They always have an outstanding experience with this brand. So how it works, you go on to humnutrition.com, you take a 3-minute quiz. It's like a little questionnaire, and they will create your own unique vitamin and supplement profile. And then you get a free nutritionist report. So a personal registered dietitian will review your data and then send you a personal profile and then some recommendations. And then you can customize your cart, whether using all of those recommendations or picking and choosing. And then you get them and then you change your life. Okay. Hum Nutrition has definitely changed my life. Right now, I am obsessed with the red carpet. So I'm just all about glowing skin, really healthy, beautiful hair. It's a staple of mine. Love it so much. And as always, the raw beauty powder that I put into basically every one of my smoothies. And the collagen pop, as I mentioned before, got it in my purse right now. Little sparkly collagen pop. Love it. HumNutrition.com. Use our code almost30nation for 15% off your first order. So that's HumNutrition.com. Almost30nation is the code, and you get 15% off your first order. You guys, well, it's really nice. You know, we're kind of in our little cave up in LA and doing what we're doing. And it's just really nice to connect with other female best friend entrepreneurs who are doing something that's so much bigger than them, but also maintaining a really beautiful relationship, you know?
Yeah. You would definitely, that's the other thing is that if anyone's listening that wants to work with their best girlfriends or even their husband or anything like that, it's so important to have that time too and just be friends. So Karena and I not even like, we don't even plan it. Like if we go away, remember we went to Costa Rica. That was like the first time that we actually realized
We're going
it.
to Costa Rica.
You
That's
are?
weird.
Where'd you guys stay?
Oh, I don't know.
Our friends got married there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Cool.
fun.
Yeah.
But we realized we were there for like 5 or 6 days. We didn't talk about work once.
Wow.
And if we go away, we just went to Palm Springs for girls' weekend.
I'm going to
it's
be
just
really
like,
creepy and say I saw you there.
Oh, you did?
I saw you getting coffee and I didn't want to bother you. But I was like,
oh my
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
God.
I know.
Oh
but
my God,
like,
you should have said
I was like,
something.
vacay. I was on my own solo vacay. I
Yeah.
was like, I see you. You're doing a vacay.
You're
But yes,
so cute.
continue.
But we're able to go and really just not talk about work. And then I work with my best friend, and then I also work with my husband. And so we go home. We have those nights where I'm like, okay, we gotta turn this off and just have dinner. But it's really, really important that even though you work together, that you still make time to connect outside of those office hours and connect as friends, because sometimes you go too long. And like at one point, Karena and I hadn't gone to dinner together in like 6 months. And I mean, we needed it. And you don't really realize that you need it. So just make sure that you plan your little date nights, pencil it in.
That's why I make her sleep with me every time we travel.
Yeah.
I tried.
Katrina wants to share a bed, share a hotel room.
I like sharing beds.
I'm like, no, not anymore. Get your own room.
I'm happy to, but I'm
She
like,
does.
if we could get to, sure.
I love it. I'm like,
Karena
You're
won't
like,
let
"Come
me.
here."
She literally will like book 2 different rooms, and then she's like checking in, and she'll tell them like, don't say my room number out loud. And I'm like,
Because she's known to show up and like crawl in my bed. And I'm like, no. And I'm such the type that like, I need my space. Like after a long day, like quiet time.
Yeah.
Me too. That's me.
when he's saying I'm loud.
what do you guys do about like being on all the time? And like you guys put out so much content. You guys are always on camera, always in video. Like how do you, I guess it's part of your normal day to day, but do you ever have days where you're like, I don't want to be on camera, or you know what I mean? How do you like manage that?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, we're not on camera all the time.
I guess like with content, you'd always like it's distributed and you always think it's always.
Yeah.
Our schedule is balanced. I mean, our schedule is different every day.
Yeah.
I would say like managing being on all the time. A good example would be going on tour, which you both were on tour. And I'm sure that was like a crazy time just traveling and being in front of all those women and meeting everyone. But we learned, like we planned ahead of time. Okay, what do we need while going on a 15 city tour over 30 days? We love meeting our community. When we're on the airplane, we learn how to eye mask, headphones, quiet time, like soothing music, just because you're, sensory overload can really wear you down. So every morning, meditating before going on stage, just having the quiet time, even before going on stage to teach a workout, having a quiet time where everyone leaves the room for us. And, we want to be able to conserve our energy and be able to give our all. So we have like little moments that we make sure to set aside.
Yeah. It was cool. At 15 cities too, I really truly believe. And one of our friends, is a musician, Kelly James, he told us to, although the flying is really chaotic and you have so many different things going on in the airport, he's like, if you can zone out and have headphones on and just kind of use that travel time as your downtime, and like when you go to your hotel room, that helped us a lot because we were able to like be in our zone. Every single city, we were able to give 100% or more of ourselves and meet every single person. And I think that was the most proud thing that we were. It's like, there wasn't one city that we were tired. If anything, we were more energized. Yeah. It was really good.
But just learning to listen to what your body needs and what your mind needs and give it to yourself and give yourself permission for that downtime that you need.
And there are times where we actually don't want to be in a bikini.
Oh,
get out. Tell me more about that.
Guys, they're wearing bikinis now. It's weird.
It's crazy. We try not to look.
I'm 9 months pregnant and not looking forward to the bikini right now, but I am after. There's times that we actually don't really feel like filming a fitness video, and we have our days, and we have our days where we don't want to put on a bikini, or it's that time of the month, or anything like that. So we're totally like in reference to that too. Like there are times where we're just like, wow, today's just not
But then
the
we
day.
love what we do and we just
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Karena's about to film next week.
You get off because you're going to be giving birth.
Yeah. I'd rather film.
True.
This is going to be interesting. I know you girls walked in. You're like, when are you doing? I'm like, today.
Oh my gosh. You guys should see her. She's a little
Peanut
about to pop.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What is it? I'm curious. So you've been doing this about 10 years, lots of life changes, relationship changes, baby coming. So how has that like influenced and inspired you in your business, but also how have you managed to kind of shift things around to just allow for that other aspect of your life to kind of grow and expand?
That's always a learning experience too.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what's cool though is
you're married, right?
Yeah, I'm
Or
married.
engaged?
I'm
Okay,
married.
married.
She's like married.
I see the ring.
literally like, married.
Actually, my husband went to college with her husband.
I know. I was going to say, I'm like, this must just work so freaking well.
When she was living, or when we were living upstairs, and like it was Bobby, who she was dating below us, who went to high school with his roommate. And then my brother was working with us as a videographer. And then, you know, everyone knew everyone. When people come over and we would start introducing, they're like, you guys are like a Friends episode. Like, this is sick. This is weird.
Yeah.
Cool. So Bobby, my now husband, moved in below us the day we started filming a reality TV show for Bravo.
Poor guy.
And he was like, what is going on? And I wasn't close with him at the time. I had just like Facebook messaged him saying, hey, I heard you were looking for a new apartment in Manhattan Beach. And, you know, my neighbor's moving out. You should move in below. And he ended up moving in below. And within a few days,
a few hours.
Wait, should I sing it?
After he's done moving, so you didn't have to help. You're like, wow.
This was my song to them. My maid of honor speech was actually a song I just sang. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. What was it? Twice
That's
on
amazing.
the clock. Oh no, it was it was something I changed.
I don't know anything.
Twice on the pump if you want me to bring skunk. Something. Remember? I don't know.
That's my Pomeranian.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Okay, this is my last question. Then I'm going to talk about like the future. Growing your team. So who was like the first couple hires you had, and like what has that been like to grow? You know, you guys have a big team.
Yeah, he's still here.
So I know he's been with us 7 years.
Who?
Brian McCrone. So we finally realized,
he's brilliant. He's amazing.
Yeah, we finally realized like we needed help. It was the hours were consuming, and we're like, well, we don't even know what we need help doing because we're so used to doing it ourselves. But we went on Craigslist.
Perfect. Best thing ever.
And interviewed a few people, and Brian had
we had like a casting call. I was like,
oh, that's right. We had
like
some very unique
turn and dip.
unique individuals who met them at the courtyard here at the Met Locks in Manhattan Beach. And it was, it was a lot.
Do you remember the two guys that like, we were so scared?
What? I mean, I'm sure that was like a guy's dream to like,
if I saw them today, I would recognize them because that's how much they scared me.
Wow.
But like, I think that they thought it was like some kind of drug exchange or something. Like we're like, no, we're literally offering a job, nothing else.
Yes, this is
We're like, tone it up.
an actual job.
And it was as an assistant. We didn't really know what you were going to be doing yet. We just needed help. And so Brian shows up, nicest guy, just moved here from Ohio. And we're like, we like him. Let's hire him. And he started working at my dining room table. And he's now our director of operations. Been with us 7 years. He knows everything about the brand. He's like the go-to guy. He's
wow.
Sometimes I feel like he knows us more than we know ourselves.
Oh,
He's amazing.
I love that he's been with you guys so long.
Yeah, he's so good. And I actually remember we were on our way to go film with Jane Fonda, and we called him from your truck, and we called him on speaker and offered him the job, and he sounded so excited.
Oh.
And we hung up the phone. We're like, "Do you think that he's like going to show up on Monday?" And he did.
Oh.
And I actually didn't sleep the night before. I'm like, we have our first employee. Like, what do I do with him? Like on Facebook.
Yeah. And we were renovating a fitness studio that was 400 square feet. But Brian I'll call him by name, Brian, my husband, was putting down wood floors, putting up mirrors and doing all this stuff. And so LaCrone first was working in your dining room, but he did say that he went down to the studio to make sure that we weren't bullshitting. Make sure that we were like, because we're like, yeah, we're going to start a fitness studio. We had to close.
Wow.
Well, wait, you closed the fitness studio?
Yeah, it was too
okay.
much.
I think something bigger happened. But.
Yeah, we realized that we could connect with so many more women online and build the community that way. And so,
now we have a studio again. Studio Tone It Up.
Yeah,
it's our app.
So good.
So do you have it?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yay!
And the girls are so sweet and just like
talking
fun.
before class.
I feel like I know them.
When we were developing Studio Tone It Up, we were like, what do we want out of an app? It can't just be moves. It can't just be nutrition. It has to be, what is our community about? And so Karena and I were driving to Palm Springs for Coachella.
There you go.
I always remember where we were. When we come up with every single idea, I know exactly where we were. Or I'm like, oh my God, that was when I was in the shower, and I called Karena and she was like, oh my God, I had the same dream.
She does call me from the shower.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that water? No.
The girl couldn't waiting for my hair, the conditioner, but I had to tell you this now. So what we're talking about? Oh yeah, the app. We're like, it has to be something where women feel connected. And so we don't want anyone working out alone. We don't want you to pop in a workout video you have downloaded or on YouTube anymore. We want you to be able to sign up for a class and we text you. So if you sign up for the next class, which is in 26 minutes, and I'll tell you how many girls are signed up for it. And so when you sign up, we actually send you a reminder and a text reminder that class is coming. So holding you accountable. And then you can actually see how many girls are in class with you. And you're able, so there's 98 girls signed up for class, the next class. And so you can see who they are, where they're from, and then you can connect with them, chat with them before class, take the class, and then chat about it after. Actually, you can chat in class too, but hopefully you're just working out. And we're adding so many different features like the live workouts and everything. So you're not alone. You're doing it, and it's just the things that we hear too from women that are like, this app has changed my life completely because I feel like I can do this with other women right now. So
I love that.
Yeah.
You guys are great.
It's the best. Literally.
You guys are incredible.
So much to come. I feel it even more. I don't even know how that's possible, but I know the new book, Balanced and Beautiful, is out now. What inspired the book?
Our balanced and beautiful community.
Yeah.
It's
like what every woman needs to just get back on track. I mean, we all have those days where like, oh, I'm out of whack. I need something, some kind of guidance. So that was it. Just kind of our inspiration and what we do, and there's also our community stories in there and how other women have overcome things, and just another way to connect with everyone.
Yeah. And it's a great thing just to have on your coffee table. You can pick it up anytime, and each chapter is something that you feel like you may need.
Yep.
So whether it's you want energy or you want inspiration, you want motivation, each chapter will kind of give you recipes, workouts, community stories, anything that will kind of give you that boost that you need.
Yeah.
So it's a book that you can pick up over and over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
So good. And what else? What's coming? What can people
Besides
be excited
baby.
about
Do you
besides
have a name?
baby?
Yeah, Isabel.
Oh.
It's my grandma's name. And this is so wild. Yesterday I found out that my grandma was named after her grandma.
So it's a long line.
We didn't even know.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised. I was like wondering if you're going to say. I'm glad you said. I'm excited. Because sometimes people, if they're afraid to say, or I've had friends that are afraid to say, they're afraid of like people's reactions.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
fuck it.
If it's a family name, then you can't really.
I mean,
if it's a name that you come up with yourself, I totally understand. Like before it comes, and you get the opinions, and that can be a lot. But I mean, no one can change my grandmother's name, so it is what it is. So I had no problem doing that. But I do understand if you're waiting, because like I don't want anyone to influence this decision.
Do you have a lot of pregnant women in your community who are like, oh,
yes, we actually there's like probably 40,000 women right now that are pregnant right now, and just going through this journey together. And there's a lot of support of women that are working on getting pregnant. So those conversations are happening, which I really think are really important. And then there's a huge group that are already moms that are helping us because we don't know what we're doing.
Well, and you also have the prenatal and postnatal section of the app.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
a lot of women were wondering what workouts to do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot in there. I just added 2 more yesterday. So let me see. Oh, you girls will get a kick out of the names of the workouts. Karena always helps me with the names of the workouts because she's like witty.
Placenta plank.
Oh,
that's a good one, right?
Placenta plank.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm going to do a placenta plank to go into labor. Beach baby, bump and booty, baby and biceps, bump it up instead of tone it up.
Cute.
Baby got back. I mean, there's so many in here.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about like, you're living your personal life and it influences your brand in a beautiful way. And it helps it to grow. That's
But
amazing.
when you have a business and you like can be like, baby got back, and then it's like baby got back. It's just like to like think of something and then just see it there is so fun.
Yeah.
You're like, I did that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
This
So
has
where
been
can
such a
people know where to
joy.
connect with you? But
Yeah.
where can
Remind
people
them.
connect with you? Yeah, remind them.
Tone it up on Instagram.
Toneutup.com.
Yeah. Karena Dawn on Instagram.
Katrina A. Scott.
I know. I
on
had to put an
Instagram.
extra A in there.
Oh, really?
Someone
Katrina.
have it.
Yeah, just buy it.
Right.
What?
Is there someone have it?
Yeah.
If you own
Just
Katrina
tell me when I buy
Scott,
it.
reach out to us.
But get it from another account because they'll see you and they'll be like $10,000 million.
$1 million.
Help me.
Yeah.
Someone out there, help me, please. And then really exciting, all of our nutrition products are actually at Target. So you can actually
That's insane.
go into Target, which we're huge Target shoppers.
How
when we go in there.
incredible.
And we're in every single Target. And we're in the fitness section, and then we're in the nutrition section. And then we have some other surprises coming too.
Your
So
protein powder is our favorite.
It's crazy. Like it's really hard in LA. It's a
yeah.
hard community to impress. And you guys, everyone talks about how good your protein powder is.
Aw.
That's real. It's
Thank you.
so delicious and it's so clean.
Yeah, that was actually a huge lesson early on, is that we were being offered sponsorship ads and things like that from companies. And we were looking at the nutrition profile, and we couldn't find a protein for women that was a simple ingredients that you could actually pronounce. And so we wanted to develop our own. And then my boyfriend at the time,
Brian, man with a name, Brian.
He had a full-time job. We actually convinced him to quit it after a while, but he helped us develop our own protein, and then it's become what it is today. And we're so proud because we can actually say it is the best protein that you can have out there. And I've had it throughout my entire pregnancy. We trust it. We tell all of our girlfriends to have it, and we feel proud that we can stand behind something and that we never stood behind something that we didn't believe in. So,
Yeah. That must feel
Props.
so
and the
good.
bars and the bites. Have you tried the bites?
No.
They're like these little bites.
I think we have it. Oh,
They're so
look.
cute.
We got our
excited.
bags.
We
They
have
have our
everything
little
there.
sweet bags.
Oh.
I actually got a beach bag from you guys, like someone from the team, and I use it all the time.
Yeah, it's such a good
It made
one.
me so
so
happy.
good.
I have a beach bag now. I was using like a Whole Foods
grocery bag.
Yeah.
like a hobo. I
Yeah.
was like,
Every year we have like these bundles and we have these bags that we come out with. And I actually, for the
and
next year, use it as my work
wine
bag.
ones. You guys have the little
Yeah.
wine.
The wine
My
glasses.
boyfriend's like, this is genius.
So cute.
It's like swag ideas.
I know. We need to do our own wine next.
You should.
But-
No sugar wine.
Yeah. But yeah. And even today on Instagram, we're talking about just women not being too hard on themselves. And the topics that we even talk about on our Toned Up Instagram are, we just really want the conversation to be about women being kind to themselves and things to open up conversation. So we're there all the time chatting, and she and I still chat with everyone on Instagram. So
Us too.
can't
Love
take
that.
it over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Thank you guys.
You guys
for
are the
making time.
best.
The best.
You girls are the
Thank
best.
you.
Thanks for coming.
And we're on like baby watch. I'm watching you and Kelly LeVeque. I'm just like, when is it happening? You know?
Well, she's like moving right now. And I was like, you know, it would be
Wow.
so cool if I went into labor on this podcast.
I know that would be awesome.
Where I was like, oh my
Stay
God.
tuned.
Yeah, gotta go.
we just like drop the mic.
Yeah. Or wait, you could follow us to the
To the
hospital.
journey.
Totally.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there. We'll be right behind.
We're thinking about going live in the app during labor.
You should. I think it's only right.
Yeah.
Or at least a little sneak peek, you know?
Yeah, honestly.
Just like, whoops.
Peekaboo.
Like, are we going live?
Yeah. It's happening.
Thank you
All right,
guys
we
so
love you.
much.
Thank
All right,
you,
guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
What would Tone It Up look like if Lindsey and Krista started it? Stretch it up.
Yeah, literally. You
Walk around
on
the block.
on the beach in moo-moos. Like no bikinis in sight. Just moo-moos. I'd be wearing one of those t-shirts with like a spray painted bikini
Literally.
on it.
Close 5
Honestly,
times the size of our
100
bodies.
times over with like my head wrap and my tons of sunscreen. We would do it way less cool. So thank you, ladies, for making an amazing brand that you do in such a cute, fun, feminine way. That
And
supports women.
accessible. Oh,
Yeah.
we love you. Everyone can do it. And you've kind of been a someone that we've looked up to like as we build our community, truly. So thank you.
Yeah, and we're so glad that our lovely Tiffany works there and our good friend Remy on the team work there. We love, your team. You guys have a great team around you. So thank you so much. So toneitup.com, use the code almost30 to get a discount on Tone It Up products and protein and all of the swag and stuff on the site. And we love them and we're excited to do more things with them in 2019.
Cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for listening, for subscribing, rating, or reviewing. As always, it means a lot. It helps us to do all the things. So we love that.
And if you are listening and you are looking at your friend, your best friend, or a friend that you have, or a business partner, and you want to start a podcast, so maybe you saw the Tone It Up girls build a brand and an empire. Well, a podcast is a great way that you can also build a brand and an empire. It's not scary. We will hold your hand along the way. We will give you every single thing you need with the Your Podcast Pro course and all the Your Podcast Pro templates, resources, everything on yourpodcastpro.com. So YOUR podcastpro.com. Go to that site and get everything you need to start a podcast. Diggity now.
Woohoo! All right, y'all. Have a great rest of the week. We love you. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.